Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be talking about Gara's nerf to her fourth ability, Mass Vertify, why it happens, what can be done to change it a little bit, because right now I think the state that it's in is very bad, because it kind of makes Gara useless because of how bad it is. A little bit. We'll talk about it. Gara still has her insanely good scaling damage whenever it comes to, like, using Mass Vertify, casting your 2, recasting all your abilities, stacking it all up, then using your 1 to, like, murder stuff. Still there. Still exists. Still super cool. Obviously, it's not the best damage dealing set of abilities in the game. It's still there. But the main attraction for most players whenever it came to Gara was the fact that you could legit set up this massive, like, glass spear around an area, and enemies couldn't walk through it, right? So these enemies couldn't walk through it, and this thing was completely invincible. Like, they could not break it. But that, in Digital Extreme's eyes, was a little bit too over the top, too overpowered, because obviously they couldn't break it. Now, the thing with this is, Frost used to be like this as well, and Frost got changed. Now, basically, what I mean by that is Frost's Snow Globe, his bubble, used to work the same way that Gara's Mass Vertify used to work, in the sense that it was based off duration, and the Snow Globe / Gara's Spear was completely invincible or immune to enemy damage, right? And it would just stay up for the duration that you had on your Warframe. So technically, what you could do, because you had it being duration based and being invincible, is you could, in some way, shape, or form, set up macros so you could legit AFK or only have to press a button every couple seconds, right? Which, that is kind of like AFK gameplay in a sense, because you could, like, set a macro for, like, let's say Frost Snow Globes had 55 seconds. You could set a macro to press free every 55 seconds and just, have some way to keep your energy up. So have someone in your squad playing Eevee or, have, like, another macro for, like, your energy pizzas or your energy cookies or whatever, and you could literally just AFK and, still do your job in the game, right? Which is bad, and that's not what you want. You could kind of do the same thing with Mass Vertify, in the sense that you could, just cast it and have it completely invincible. I believe the duration on my Mass Vertify before this patch was 55 seconds, but you'll notice that down in the bottom right-hand corner now, where my abilities are, it's changed to number 12, and that basically refers to the amount of glass panels that I still have up on the last shield that I casted, right? So you can only have one shield active at one time, and every shield consists of 12 panels, which can be broke by the enemies. So let's just go ahead and do a quick little demonstration of how the enemies kind of just knock through this stuff. So I'll spawn in a level 150 heavy gunner. Obviously, that's not the type of enemy that you're going to be going up against if you're just a casual player, but just to sort of demonstrate how deadly or how bad this change was to Gara, we'll go ahead and demonstrate. So, let's just take a look at my abilities first, so we can see the amount of health that I have on my Mass Vertify at the minute. So the health on my Mass Vertify is 4,450. Very low whenever you compare it to something like a max strength build. I believe a max strength build gets, at the mark of about 11,000 health or to 12,000 health. So basically how it works now is the ability's health is going to scale with your armor and power strength mod. So if you have a max power strength build on, you're completely disregarding things like efficiency, duration for your other abilities, etc. Then you're able to get that high number for about 11,000, 12,000. But even at that, that's not very much whenever you take into consideration that whenever enemies start to scale up, they get a lot more damage. So if we go ahead and we jump over to this heavy gunner, she spots this, starts to shoot at our Mass Vertify here, you'll see that it breaks in literally no time, and then they're already in. Now, it doesn't help that at the fact that, like, this is also still bugged. So if we were to cast Mass Vertify again, you'll see that the enemy's weapon is actually clipping through the glass wall. So if I were to stand over here, they're able to shoot me through the wall. So the ability's bugged, and the ability scaling has just gone to shit. Like, there's no way for you to use this in endgame content anymore. And whenever I say endgame content, I mean any type of, like, defense mission, survival mission, if you're, like, holding down an area in a survival mission, where the enemy's level is going to go up as you progress on. Sorties, basically just say no to using Gara, which is a it's a big letdown because I really liked Gara before this change. But the thing is, like, I knew this nerf was gonna happen because it doesn't make sense for them to release Frost, have Frost have basically the same thing where his bubble is invincible, it's based off duration, and then for them to change that to make it work in the same way which Gara's Mass Fortify works now. But the catch is, whenever it comes to Frost, is you can recast it and, like, make the health go up in the snow globe that you already had active. So there's a sense of scaling with that defensive ability, if that makes any sense, because you can just recast it and replenish the health off it and make the health go up and up and up the more you cast it. So you're basically making like a very tanky bubble the more you cast it, which makes sense. But that doesn't work for Gara because of, one, how long it takes to cast, and basically just how the ability works in general, because it has to expand. Like, it has this M prime effect. I believe the way that this ability was explained to a lot of people was it was a mixture between Nova and Frost, and the big selling point was the fact that, it basically completely froze enemies whenever they get hit by the Vertify. So this guy's going to eventually just turn the glass here, and he's going to be completely still for a decent amount of time. Now, I don't know if the amount of duration you have will determine how long this guy stays stunned for, or stays, like, embodied in the glass, but because I don't know if, like, they changed that with the Mass Fortify change, but it did scale with your duration before this change, but that's the thing. So it's basically just coming down to, like, how this casting animation and how, like, you could, like, replenish the health of your shield, because you can't do it, you can't do it, and that's what makes this bad whenever you compare it to Frost. And this is what basically just makes it so that, like, Frost is forever going to be the more predominant defense frame, if that makes any sense, because of this change to Gara. So, we knew it was going to happen, because having Gara's 4 be completely immune to any damage at all is insane. And if we were to keep this around, then they might as well just revert Frost changes back. So they made it snow globe duration based as well. And then we'd basically have, like, the same thing we did way back then, which obviously D wasn't happy with, because we had, people using the macros and stuff like that to sort of just AFK, put their bubble up, put down energy pads or whatever, which, I mean, stuff like that happens in the game anyway. But, like, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed Gara whenever she had the super overpowered 4, but now I just can't see her being a frame that I really want to use. Sure, you have, like, the 90% damage reduction on your 2, and you can share this with your teammates and stuff like that. That's great, and that lasts for about 33 seconds, maybe 50 seconds if you just build it for duration. But, I mean, at that point, you might as well use Mesa, because you can get the exact same effect for, like, 2 minutes or so with a lot less effort. You throw an Intensify in your build, then you stack a bunch of power duration, and then you throw on a really badass secondary build, and then you have this, super tanky DPS frame, which just can do anything, right? Where you have Gara here, who, this, and then her scaling damage is kind of all she has, but you have to put in so much work to get that scaling damage, it doesn't really seem worth it anymore, which makes this frame just, like, not something I want to sort of gravitate to whenever I'm playing any type of content. Now, I would say this ability right here, her 2, is about the only thing that I would use, because her 3, this thing can get broken by the enemies. Now, just watch, like, he just one-taps all these little mirrors here, or more or less one-taps, and breaks them all. Of course, that deals damage back to him, but it's not enough damage to sort of warrant, like, using that ability over and over and over again, and it keeps him CC'd. But this ability right here, a lot more could have been done with this, There's the ability gone. Like, that wasn't even up for the full 34 seconds. Like, it's just because he broke all the mirrors. A lot more could have been done with this ability. Don't ask me what could have been done, because, we could be here forever talking about different things that could be done to the ability. I just don't want to list them off right now. But, it's just a shame, really. Like, I don't know. There you go, I'm dead. that lasted long. Let's even just try spawning in, like, level 50 enemies, to see how that goes. Let's go level 50 instead of level 150, and see how fast our thing drops again. Let's just see. I'll show you my build as well, just to sort of give you an idea of what I'm running here, because I wanted to keep, obviously, the damage reduction of my 2 in mind, so I needed to keep hydration for that and stuff. You could probably throw on a better build, throw an aura mind in here or something that would work, but I didn't really want to forma. Again, I already have 4 forma on, and this is also like another one of those bad things about this type of rework, is it completely changes how you want to mod the frame, because you want to mod a little bit more towards power strength. You also want to keep other things in mind, but, you know, because the frame is so different, I don't feel like reforming, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, it's just I like Gara the way she was, but I'm not going to be one of these people who sits here and complains and says I don't understand why they had to change it, because I fully understand why they had to change it. It's just I don't think this is the right way to change it. Now keep in mind, that's one level 50 heavy gunner right there, and if you're playing a defense mission, there's going to be more than one level 50 heavy gunner. There's going to be nullifiers, there's going to be butchers, there's going to be, you know, whatever. There's going to be scorpions. There's going to be so much stuff happening. Not to mention it's actually still bugged, like I demonstrated at the beginning of the video. There's so much wrong with the ability now that it just doesn't make her a frame worth using in defense anymore. You're better off using Limbo. You're better off using Frost. And that's basically it. Like, any competitiveness that Gara had with Frost is now gone whenever it comes to, like, you know, what defense frame you should choose. But like I said, I understand why the nerf happens, because, you know, obviously they don't want an invincible wall where players can just AFK, and like you could literally press your mass fortify, and, you know, as long as there's no enemies inside it, as long as there's no nullifiers coming at you, you can have your mass fortify up, go get a sandwich, and if you had like enough duration on it, then your defense would be safe. You know, that's kind of insane. Like, it's promoting AFK passive gameplay, I guess, if that makes any sense. By well, it gives you the opportunity to go get a sandwich. If that, yeah, it's weird. It's hard to talk about, because like, it's just so, you have this amazing frame which you invest a lot of time into, a lot of forma into, because they're really awesome whenever they come out, and then they change it, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll keep an open mind about this change, because, you know, yeah, I agree, Gara's a little bit insane right now, because invincible wall, no enemy can get through it unless they're a nullifier. Kind of crazy, right? That's why they changed Frost, because they didn't want that type of thing. But then they go and butcher the ability. I don't know, they could have given it more health. They, you know, could have given it something to redeem the fact that it's super weak. They could have, like, I don't know, like, sped up the casting animation so you can replenish it faster if it does go down. Make it so that you can replenish the health of the shield in some way, shape, or form, just like you have with Frost. Because then, you know, problem solved, because you can get that health back. Maybe if you have Mass Fortify up and you press 4 again, or you hold it down for long enough, maybe then it just like regens the health instead of creating an entire new shield, and it just brings up the bits that like weren't broken, or were broken, sorry. So like, you know, if I have this up and then I get a heavy gunner to come and break a glass, or a piece of glass, I don't know why I deselected him there, but okay, simulate him, make him come towards me. Come on, come on, hit at the glass, hit at the glass. Never mind, I'll just jump towards him and make him shoot it. Probably a little bit faster. But if he was able to break that, and it didn't clip through the wall, it's gonna clip through the wall. Of course it's gonna clip through the wall. Can you just do what I want you to do, please? Okay. Break it. No, don't reload your weapon. Break it. Thank you. So if he broke that, and I was able to like recast the thing that he broke by, I don't know, like holding down my 4 or something at the bit that he broke, that would be cool, because then I'm regenning the health of the shield. But just because of how Gara is set up and how that ability is cast, I can't do it, you know? Of course, they can add a multi-function to like certain abilities, because take a look at Inaris's 4, you're able to hold down 4, build up your armor, then aim at an enemy, press the 4 again, and then cast the Scarabs on the enemy. You know, that works. Why can't I not aim at the place that is broken, hold down 4, bring that shield back up again, and then regen its health? Obviously, give it more base health and then add that type of feature. That would be cool. That would be fine. Obviously, it would encourage more proactive gameplay. It would require the player to like maintain the glass shield that they have up. Of course, Frost would still be the better pick, but at least then Gara would have some form of competitiveness because she has this 90% damage reduction. She can share that with her teammates. She has that insane scaling damage. The fact that these walls are going to deal damage back at the enemies, and then that 4 will also like refresh, because if you're like rebuilding this glass wall with the glass, it'll refresh your 2 as well. So the synergy is still there whenever it comes to you know, keeping your 4 up, keeping your 2 up, building up that, you know, scaling damage, using your 1 to dish out a load of damage. You know, it's all still there. There's just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done better whenever it comes to just making this ability more competitive with the defense frames, which is clearly the intention of Gara. I don't know. Other than that, you just kind of have to use her as Nova. You know, that slow effect, which takes its time to kick in. And at that point, you argue, well, why wouldn't I just use Nova? Because Nova's slow is instant, even though it doesn't like completely freeze them like Gara's does. You know, you get the explosion effect whenever you kill them. You can't deal status procs at enemies whenever they're in this form. So if you're using a status heavy build or, you know, weapon or whatever, then, you know, there's no point using Gara. Again, might as well just jump to Nova. There's so many different things that should have been taken into consideration whenever changing Mass Vertify, in my opinion. And that's really all there is to it, I guess. If I missed anything, you guys can comment it. But I don't know. I think Frost and Limbo are still the superior defense frames just because of this change to Mass Vertify. I agree with the fact that Mass Vertify did need a nerf because it was kind of insane. The enemies could, like, you know, not get through it at all. It was still bugged back in day 1. They could still, like, you know, walk up to the shield and then shoot through it, if that made any sense. But, I don't know, man. I just think that they have to take another look at this ability before they push it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know why I wanted to make this video. I just wanted to kind of talk about the Gara nerf / rework because everyone's talking about it, and yeah, Twitch chat were talking about it too, and they're like, feels bad, man. And I'm just sitting here like, feels bad, man, but it had to happen, but it didn't have to happen like this. And that's pretty much it. I don't know, but yeah. Make Gara better. Make Gara better again. Please. Get it trending in Twitter. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for the video. I'm sorry I didn't really offer anything constructive, or I just kind of ranted about Gara's 4. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's anything else? I mean, like, we have the fact that we can completely slow enemies on Gara's 4. Like, completely freeze them. We also have that on Frost-free Snow Globe, if we're using the Chill and Globe augment. So it doesn't really make it any better at the fact that Mass Vertify has it, because Frost also has it. So, you know, like, you can't really use that as an argument to say Gara is better than Frost. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.